Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the Darkest Timeline podcast. So, same drill as always, movies, games and TV, and something from the last week, I would have thought. If you're not checking us out on YouTube, please make sure to go and check us out on YouTube, like, share and comment. Share with your friends, share with your family, and get them to do the same. So here we go. This is Cookiecast, the Darkest Timeline podcast. Right. How's that? Is that better? Is that worse? That looks big. Is it big? Certainly not what she said. Honestly, it's like a sound test every day. And it's not every day, it's every podcast day. I coded a podcast the other day where I thought it was a little bit quiet. I've been trying not to put the sound up into the red. Previously, sound was good in the red. More recently, sound is not good in the red. I mean, that was definitely in the red. Oh, I'm very warm. I'm starting to think that maybe it's not time for the heating. Also, like I say, I've just done about 20 sound tests. And I'm hoping that this is the best version of me. The way I was going to start this podcast was by going, a little bit of light humour, saying something along the lines of, I don't know, this is Cookiecast Live, coming from day 14 of the quarantine, and then going on to do something about how we haven't started eating each other yet, sort of thing. But then I had to do this whole thing about audio nonsense. So, none of it went according to plan as a short version. Right. It was a joke. We are currently not, at time of recording, we are currently not in quarantine, lockdown, or any of those things. This will come out in about a month's time. Depending how things go, the release schedule might have to be bumped up. I think you're going to start getting podcasts sort of tomorrow. Last week of a point in time where I was going, oh, this virus is a bit intense, isn't it? Obviously, things have changed since then. So yeah, there's a possibility this evening that the country might be put into lockdown. I don't know that for sure. The Prime Minister has cancelled a 5 o'clock update and is going to do a statement 7:30 or 8:30 or something. Speculation would sort of suggest that that's potentially a lockdown being put in place because people aren't observing social distancing. I'm not going to, at this point in time, go through my opinions on this. I've got something on the list this week, talks about something that I personally find quite interesting. Don't know if other people find it interesting, but I keep going back to it. I keep sort of I keep thinking about it, thinking that it's a little strange. But we'll get to that in a bit. Other than now then. Other than movies, because I don't think I've watched a movie. And up to a certain point I will have watched some TV. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, other than movies, everything that you tune in for is on the list. Everything. Apart from movies. I'm going to the list, people. Right. starting from the top. So, it's Monday today. I shouldn't be recording this today. Should actually be recording this tomorrow. The reason I'm recording it today is because the host or co-host, whichever way you want to slice it, of the whole avocado is observing the social distancing. So there's that. I don't know. Do I need to explain how this works? Have I explained it before? On the week that we do the whole avocado, I do my podcast on a Tuesday. On the week that we don't, I do my podcast on a Monday. It was always on a Monday until the whole avocado came along. Don't know if you needed to know that, but now you do. So, nearly a week ago, so last Tuesday, follow me now. Last Tuesday, I'll have mentioned last week, I was super excited because Bert Kreischer's new special was coming out on the 17th of March, not to date this podcast or that one. One of those, I'm sure. I don't know what the deal is, other than, my release schedule is like schedule. My release timings is like a month apart. That is just how I was told to do it originally. As it is, it's to adjust for sickness and stuff like that. Anyway, not important. So last Tuesday, Bert Kreischer's new special, Hey Big Boy, released on Netflix. I was super excited, as I'm sure I will have mentioned previously. I'm sure I will have gone through reasons why. Short version is, I'm a fan. I am a fan. So, Tuesday. Went to work, I believe. Sounds like something I would do. Ish. Came home. I want to say I did a podcast. So, I will have done the new podcast, the new podcast, which is Leanne's podcast. I did her podcast, got that recorded, got it transferred over to the computer, and had some tea. I was racing against the clock because I wanted enough time to watch Bert's new special, and I wanted to go to the gym, as it was a thing, and obviously the appropriate word there is was. So that was that. Like I say, I was racing against time, and just about had enough time. I wanted to be done with everything by 9 o'clock. I think it was just after 9. I'd already looked, and the special was like an hour and 5 minutes, which would give me plenty of time to watch it, get changed, go to the gym. So, sat down, put it on, and away we go. I've got a lot to say about it, and I don't know which angle to come from. I know you will have listened to ones previously where I've sort of done reviews around stand-ups I've listened to. So do I just do a review? Do I talk about the situation? Do I talk about all of it? Do I drone on? Don't answer that. Obviously, I've got a lovely tickle of a cough, which I can say this categorically, I never have at any other time. I never have this cough at any other time other than when I am doing this podcast. If someone can explain that to me, I'd love to know. I'm going to take a drink, people. Let's see if we can get rid of it that way. There's a little bit of a wheeze. Might have to have a blast on the old on the blue Inhaler. It's my inhaler. I was going to use some kind of phallic reference, but Right, there's a drink. Let's see if we can get rid of the wheeze. Anyway, I'll keep talking while I'm doing it. Did you hear the wheeze then? So, let's go through it all. Might as well. I'll try and keep it brief. So, started watching the special. First joke, all good. The second sort of joke was quite a long story, so straight into the storytelling side of Bert's style. Was enjoyable. Super funny joke early on. It was a perfect joke for this time, where podcasters, comedians who do podcasts are very famous. It was a perfect joke for that. I'd watched Mark Maron's stand up, which I presume I covered last week. I seem to think I did. And he had not a similar joke, but he had a joke that would have fit the same. It was a Joe Rogan joke. So that was that. So I was enjoying it. I was laughing. At one point I was laughing a lot. And I'm man enough to admit this. I just need to brace myself for a moment. I was laughing and I started crying. Some things about that I can explain, some things I can't. It was I say I can explain it. Think about the thing, whatever it is that makes you the happiest. Spending time with your children, spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, spending time with your best friends, spending time fishing, reading a book, playing computer games, watching movies, anything. Think about the thing that makes you the happiest. And think about the moment that you're right in the middle of whatever it is. That second line of Coke of the day, maybe it's that. And you're so happy and you're so overjoyed and you're just like ecstatic, or another bucket load of words that mean you're happy. And it was all of a sudden like the emotion of all of that, like there was just this wave of emotion. And in the middle of laughing out loud, sat on my own, I started laughing and I started crying. Floods and floods of tears. But therein lies the other thing. The other reason, another reason why I was crying was I was sat on my own. This is not a woe is me. There have been times in my life, there have been points of time in my life where I would not have been in the situation where I was sat on my own. And I'm going to leave that one there. However, the situation was that I was on my own. So there was that. It was that mixture of, oh my god, this is great, and oh my god, it's so funny, and oh, I've waited all day for this, and all of that, everything that goes with it. I waited, and I'd sat down, and I'd made the time, and I put my phone down, and all of that, and I was on my own, and just this wave of emotion. Some downsides around the special. I'm gonna get out there, way out in front, and I'm gonna say I felt there was a substantial lull in the middle. I felt it was good at the beginning, it was good at the end, and there was a lull in the middle. So there's that. I also feel that the editing was particularly poor. There was just some cuts that were so sharp you nearly cut yourself on them. There was like two distinct cuts that it was like, whoa! Didn't see that coming, and it slaps you in the face like a wet fish. I don't know whose choice that will be. I presume these people, there are editors, and I just think it was a bad editorial choice. I am not saying I could have done better. It was good. It was good. I'm going to say again. I'm going to get it out there. Not as good as Secret Time, because Secret Time is hands down one of my favourite stand-ups of all time. But it was good. I have watched it again, and I will watch it again. All good signs. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed watching it the second time. There's a possibility I enjoyed it more the second time. I don't know. I'm going to have another blast on this and then put it away, because I bet you can hear me playing with it. Again, the inhaler, not my penis. So, range of emotions, a whole host of emotions, thoroughly enjoyable time. Ultimately, I think I'm probably mentioning it about the Maron stuff, the Marc Maron one. Marc Maron isn't my favourite comedian. I will always watch his stuff. I will always enjoy his stuff. But I might not spend the entire time laughing from start to finish. I will just enjoy it. And if I'm honest, at this point in time, at this stage in life, sometimes that's enough. To just enjoy something, to just enjoy an experience. So that was that. I watched Bert's special. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I went to the gym. It still hurts. We'll get to that. So, randomly decided, do you know what? I enjoy that so much. I'm gonna put it on social media, because you know the rules, people. If it's not on social media, it didn't happen. Come on. So, I had a picture that Netflix had sent me an email week before saying, we've noticed that you've watched all of Bert Kreischer's specials multiple times. You might be interested to know that there's a new one coming, because I'm sure you didn't know that. And it had this amazing picture of Bert in this horrible shirt thing. Shirt was open. I'm not even sure if it's a shirt. It looks like an old man pajama top sort of thing, with the ones with the buttons. But it was a great picture. It was very Bert. I then screen grabbed the picture, and I think I sent it to a couple of people. Hey, check this out. This is happening on Tuesday. Really excited. Can't wait. So I still had that screen grab. Went onto Instagram. Posted that picture. Put a comment saying this was exceptional. And tagged Bert Kreischer. I was like, fuck it, why not? Tagged Bert Kreischer in the picture. Sent it to the social media. Sent it to Instagram. Job done. End of the story. Done. That wasn't until Wednesday morning when I got up. Now then, what was the series of events? I was up. Every now and then, if I've got time, I will have a quick look on. It's usually Instagram. I'm finding a lot that I prefer Instagram a lot more to Facebook, because one of the biggest reasons is you don't get sucked into it as much. There's a load of pictures to look through. There's people doing stories, and that's that. There's not a load of horse shit that goes with it. Went onto Instagram and it's a notification telling me that somebody liked a picture. So I pressed on the thing. Which picture was it? I don't post a lot of pictures. Was it an old one or something like that? And who was it? So the picture was the Bert Kreischer picture that I'd posted on Instagram the night before. And the person who had liked it was Bert Kreischer. And I out loud went, oh! And I was like, but Bert Kreischer liked the picture that I put up. Now, I'm not in any way. This isn't like me being completely delusional. It was a picture of him at a time that he was trying to promote a special. And I imagine the first few thousands of people that posted stuff about his special, he probably just pressed the like button. I don't for a second think that he's sought out my comment on it, whatever, and gone, oh, I like that over all other comments. It's not that. It was just with, like I say, having the range of emotions from the night before and from watching the podcast. No, not the podcast. Jesus Christ, man, get yourself together. From watching the special to the next morning and seeing Bert Kreischer, the thing, Bert Kreischer likes your photo. It's like, holy shit, that's cool. And then I started thinking about that and like how, somebody that you're a fan of, somebody that you admire, takes the time out, and I can't imagine that he is taking the time out. I imagined that it was just a point in time where he was liking everybody's posts. But then thinking about that and thinking, do famous people understand what stuff like that means when they take the time out of their day to do something and that sort of stuff? I'm just thinking like along those lines. I did screenshot the fact that he'd liked it. And then I sent people messages going, "Bert Kreischer liked my picture." So that was that. Like that was like a couple of days of like that special. I watched it again the Wednesday night. I have this thing that like there's been a couple of stand-up specials that I've watched in my life where the first time I watched them I didn't laugh. And I was like, the famous story about Ozzy Osbourne, like when he watched Spinal Tap, and he thought it was a documentary. And he was just like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Never realised it was a comedy. I find that there've been stand-up specials in my life where I've not laughed the first time. And then I've watched them again and just proper, like, on the floor crying with laughter. It's like my brain has to process, like there are things that are like true genius. I remember watching, will it have been Revelations, like Bill Hicks' Revelations? I didn't laugh. I never laughed the first time I watched it. There was another one, it might have been the Richard Pryor, the Live on Sunset Strip one. I don't think I laughed at that. Although I find that very hard to believe, but that's now. That is hands down one of my favourite stand-up specials of all time. But yeah, there've been various ones where I didn't. The first time I watched it, I never laughed. So with a stand-up special, I do generally give them a couple of goes. You miss stuff as well, you could be laughing and you could miss a word here or there. Tomorrow, I believe, Tom Segoya's special releases, which is called Ball Hog. She's just fucking brilliant. This is the tour that me and Mike saw him on. I just keep saying about this, I'm very, very interested to watch this special. I would love to see how it's been cut together. And I wonder if I sit down and watch the special and just cry with laughter all the way through it because it's fantastic, and then look back at when I saw it live and go, I have no idea what happened there. Or whether it's going to be like when I saw it live and was a bit, if I'm honest, a little bit underwhelmed. But I think I covered that previously. Speaking of which, I was listening to a podcast a little while ago where Bert was saying that he doesn't read any reviews. That's probably a really good idea. There was a post on Facebook about Tom's new special, Ball Hog. I'll say it again because I just think it's funny. And there was loads and loads and loads of comments. People just going, well, I hope this one's better than Bert's new special, because Bert's new special was rubbish, and then just people tearing into the special, him, just every single thing that they could, they were. It was brutal. I had to stop reading it in the end. I was like, this is awful. So the best possible thing that people can do is not read stuff like that, reviews and things. I don't know if I was just about to say, I don't know if I would comment on something like that, having just done a review of that stand-up special. Stand-up comedy to me is like black magic. I honestly don't know how it's possible. How does somebody write a joke? And I don't mean like a knock-knock joke, although I was listening to something today where Bert was talking to Bill Burr about writing knock-knock jokes, and somebody he'd spoken to said that they were trying to write a knock-knock joke, and how they were trying to strip comedy down to its bare bones, and that was it, like knock-knock jokes. I don't even think I could do that. How does somebody write a joke? Although, I did say yesterday was Mother's Day. That day started with a bang, I'll tell you that much. Whew. But I did comment to Leon and say, this morning has shown me how Bert goes about writing his material. Whew, wow. Yeah, so that was all of that. Let's go and have a look at the list. So, obviously we're in the midst of this virus thing. It is what it is. I find I can't talk about it because I have a lot of opinions, and at this point in time, I don't believe those opinions are going to be super popular. I went to the supermarket today, and yeah, it was a very different picture to the way it was a matter of days ago. You know, nearly everything was back in stock, and then I saw a thing this evening saying that we need to bring in food rationing. It's like, okay. Spoke to another couple of people. Sorry, I just got a text message about the newest podcast on the Cookiecast network. The fuck? I find I have to keep quiet. I've had a series of arguments. That isn't true at all. I've had an argument in the last 24 hours. For whatever reason. I am quite argumentative at the moment. I was going to talk about this further into the podcast. I've mentioned this a couple of times previously. My mental health is in the gutter at the moment. It is particularly bad for a multitude of different reasons. My mental health is taking an absolute kicking at the moment. Every day it gets worse. There's a massive amount of that's to do with this whole virus thing. And I just seem to be super argumentative because of it. Which doesn't help anything. So yeah, like I say, I've had an argument in the last 24 hours. I just have to keep my mouth shut. And it's not like I've got all these this is what we get. This is the earth fighting back. I don't believe that one. I probably need to sort myself out right now because this podcast feels a bit off the rails. However, maybe in like a couple of weeks' time when I'm coding this and my mental health is either better or worse, maybe I'll look at this and go, well, you could see there how bad I was. I'm just, shortest version is I am just not in a good place right now, and this podcast is supposed to be part therapy for me, and you guys are along for that train wreck of a ride. Let's stop responding to text messages, and let's get back. So, I heard a theory recently surrounding the virus. So somebody said, oh, do you remember around Christmas, New Year, and like into the New Year, loads of people were complaining about being sick. And it seemed to go on for ages. Now, any long-time listener of this podcast already knows what's coming. My ears pricked up straight away, and I'm like, I was ill at Christmas. I was ill at the New Year. I was ill for 8 weeks. So one of the theories, conspiracy or otherwise, floating around is that loads of people were sick Christmas, New Year, and into the New Year, and that is potentially what the start, it's essentially what might be the start of this virus. I don't know how true that is. This is supposedly, what is it, Chinese bat flu? I honestly don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But I think that's supposedly where it originated. Somebody ate a bat or something. I don't. I probably shouldn't comment on it because I don't know enough about it. But as I'm sure you can imagine, it really rang true with me when I was like, well, I was sick. I was sick for so long. I was sick for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I did a podcast about it every week. Oh my God, I'm so sick. Oh, I'm sick. Go back and listen to them if you didn't, or cast your mind back to all those weeks where I just went through cold after cold after cold. Stomach bug, stomach bug, stomach bug. Cold, cold, cold. Flu-like symptoms. For weeks. It's like 2 months I was sick for. And now we've got this situation. And I honestly don't know if there's any connection. I am not a doctor or a scientist or an intelligent human being. But I'm not saying yeah, that's the. What I'm saying is that is very interesting to me. It's something that I find very interesting. Yeah, I was sick for a long time, and I talked about it a lot. I was on the podcast going, please, somebody help me. Can somebody please tell me how I can make myself better? Because I'm super sick. So yeah. I don't know if there's anything in it. Don't know if we'll ever find out. Does make me think though. Interesting. Very interesting. So that was just a thing. It was the baby's birthday. The smallest one had a birthday, and it was super cool. Day before, I told her that I was going to cancel her birthday because she was miserable. She clearly listened to that advice and was quite cheerful on her birthday. It was nice. It was a nice experience to see that a lot of people are just like, where has that time gone? And I am like, I do not know where that time has gone. Genuinely, Do not know where that time has gone. Baby got a lot of gifts, more than she could ever possibly need. It was a situation that I just kept saying to people, just get her clothes. She'll always need clothes. Get them in the next size up. She will always need clothes. Please don't buy toys or anything like that, because she's already got a million toys and she's going to get a million toys, and I'm sure there'll be toys. She's got a load of cool new toys. She's got a little collection of Teletubbies going. That is a long story about a giant Teletubby that she saw in the supermarket one day and just fell in love with it. And my motto is, you shouldn't wait on things. Don't ever say, I'll come back and get that. But my motto is that, because I do it all the time and then it's never there, is it? So the baby didn't get the Teletubby and we had to get her a different Teletubby. So now she's got a collection of these slightly smaller Teletubbies. She has recently learned, they're ones that if you press their tummies, they talk. Obviously in Teletubby speak, which isn't really talking, but she's now learned how to do that. So she sits with like one of them and she'll press the tummy and it talks and she thinks it's hilarious. The best bit of the whole thing had to be when I brought the cake out. Me and Leanne spent all of Friday baking and wrapping presents and baking. We were trying to make this giraffe cake that was also a number one. Honestly, for a first attempt, or a joint first attempt, I think that it went really well. We'd been trialing the baking previously, like a week before. I'd baked a cake. Bit of a disaster. Lots of learns taken away from that. I had to make scones 3 times. The humanity. And in the end, I ended up making my own scone recipe. Because I tell you something, apparently nobody knows how to make scones. The big dog knows how to make scones. If you need a scone recipe, give me a call. Email, tag me on social media, send up the bat signal, just say, what's your scone recipe? And for £25, you too can have a scone recipe. I honestly think that my future lies in podcast cookery, or a cookbook released through the Cookiecast network. Watch this space on that one. We'll have to see. But yeah, as far as the baking was concerned, the baking all came off really well. People said that the cake was nice. I mean, what more can you hope for? It looked cool. I thought it looked really good. It was like, where you do the stuff and you put the icing on and away you go. So yeah, that was the baby's birthday. It was nice. It took 2 days to open her presents. And then my realisation that having been so busy on her actual birthday, I don't think I had a single picture. So it was kind of cool to take. I took about 100 pictures the next day when she was opening all her gifts. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, the baby had a birthday. Don't know if I can call her the baby anymore. No, I still refer to my eldest as baby. Dad's in it. Joys of being a dad. So now how can I do this? Because I've got another thing to talk about. How do I do this? Oh, I could probably do it like that. Right, okay. At this point in time, no, sorry, no, I'll do it the other way around. Okay, I'm rambling. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I was listening to the American Glutton podcast. Tell you this much, not a podcast to leave to build up a backlog, because then I ended up listening to about 10 episodes, or however you want to, 10... I listened to 10 podcasts back to back of the American Glutton podcast, and I came out of that session of listening to those podcasts going, oh my God, I'm fat. Oh my God, my diet's terrible. Oh my God, my workout's awful. And then, was it Tuesday? Might have been Tuesday that I went to the gym having had this realisation that my workout was terrible and my diet was awful and blah, 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 blah. And just absolutely destroyed in the gym. I knew I'd been to the gym that day, let's put it like that. Something that I heard on one of these podcasts that I really liked the sound of, and I've seen Ethan Suplee's been posting on social media like after a workout and stuff, and it'll just say, I killed my clone today. I don't know if this is stealing to go through this. This is like a theory. And the theory is that at midnight every day there is a clone of you born. Identical to you in absolutely every way. And 24 hours later you are going to fight that clone to the death. And whoever is more improved, whoever's the better person, will win the fight. So you have 24 hours to be slightly better than you were at midnight, essentially the night before. And then, if you are in any way better, you wanted to eat something and you didn't. You went and worked out and you worked out really hard. You went for a run and you ran further. Any improvement of any kind, anything that is moving you forward means that you are better than the clone. And that means that you will win the fight because you are better. You're more capable to beat the clone. And then you would say, I killed my clone today. And it's a statement that is basically, I am better today than I was yesterday. So, I listened to this, I was like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I really like that. That's really cool. I like that. So it got me thinking. And like I say, I went to the gym and I well and truly killed my clone. I said to Leanne the next day, I was like, killed my clone last night. I then had to go on to explain it to her. I was talking to Leanne's mum about it the other day, saying I'm really into this theory. Speaking of Ethan Suplee, America feels a little bit further ahead. Lots of celebrities are going on about just basically telling people to stay at home. So all these celebrities are posting on social media and stuff. Ethan Suplee had posted, I wonder if I can find it quickly. I know, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I imagine I can probably find it quickly. Let me, Ethan Suplee. Here it is. So, it's actually a picture taken from the Joker movie. And it's a picture of the Joker running down the alleyway in the movie. And the caption is, me finally finding consistency in my training and diet. And then it's the bit where he gets hit in the face with the sign, and the bit across the back of the sign says the name for the virus. I very much could relate to that. It's taken me a little while to get back to where I was, and I wasn't back there because I wasn't doing the level of running that I should have been. But then I went and I ran. And I did additional exercises and I was doing additional weight, and I was absolutely destroying it in the gym. And I was like, this is it, we're back, baby. It's been a long road, it's taken ages, but we're here. And that is one piece of the puzzle locked down, and I knew that I'd hit the nail. And I was like, I'm running again, and I'm lifting, and I'm lifting heavy weight, and I'm doing it, and I'm back, baby. I am back, and it's taken a long time. And I killed my clone, and blah 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 blah. So I think let's work this out. Will that have been Tuesday? Because I did a podcast on Wednesday, which means I won't have gone to the gym. So then, was it Thursday? Or was it Friday? I'm really lost. The days are a bit of a mess at the moment with everything that's going on. Short version is, there was the announcement that they were closing the gyms. Restaurants, bars and pubs had been up in the air for a couple of days around. They were advising people not to go to them, and they were complaining. And people were saying that they can't claim money back from the government if they're not ordered to close. So they were just like empty pubs and empty restaurants. And then they ordered pubs, bars, nightclubs, leisure centres or something like that, all to close. And then the thing that I'd been dreading for quite a while, I think I'd heard that 2 gyms had already closed off their own backs. And then there was this notification that was like, all gyms to close at their earliest convenience. I believed, perhaps stupidly, that my gym wouldn't close that night. It's more likely that they've been told to do it at their earliest convenience. They're a 24-hour gym. They would have to close at a mutual time. I think if I go out this evening, I had to run to Tesco for the important stuff, energy drinks. I was like, if I go and do that, I can come back via the gym, run in, do my workout, do my run, and then if it closes tomorrow, that's that. However, I was wrong. I went to Tesco's, I got what I needed. Tesco's looked like the back end of the apocalypse. Okay, I keep saying to people, it wasn't that there was just nothing on the shelves. The shelves were missing. Who knows what that's all about, or was all about? At which point, what was the process there? Oh, we've got nothing to put on the shelves, so we'll take the shelves away. But, I mean, beyond empty. It was terrifying. If I'm honest, I didn't clear a shelf. I just took X number of packs of energy drinks and went about my way. I bought my daughter a party dress, a birthday dress, because we realised that she didn't really have dresses, so we bought her a little birthday dress. So that was that. Went to the gym, and I knew, I sensed it as I was coming around the corner, and I pulled in, and the place was in complete darkness. And like I keep saying, I'm struggling quite badly with mental health at the moment, and this is a huge part of it. I've been able to ride this whole thing out up to this point. I've been riding it and riding it and riding it. And there was a huge part of me that was like, everything's fine as long as they don't close the gym. And I got it into my head that, social distancing was still a thing, because I was going to the gym and it was empty. 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, people were already quarantining themselves. All of that, the gym was empty. It was beautiful. And in a week, the number of times I was in the gym on my own. Or you'd get there and there was someone there but they were leaving, or you were leaving and someone else was arriving. It was beautiful. And I'd got everything it was that day. It was that day that I got everything right, and then they closed the gym. I feel a little bit emotional right now, if I'm honest. Not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't do that. So yes, I had one time I killed my clone. So there you go. As is the way these things go. With not going to the gym, I've not been watching as much stuff. I had been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood up till the point of the gym closure. I don't know what to tell you. I was so far through a series. They were very much in Briggs and is it Sloth that comes up out of the ground? The big slow guy. All good. I should probably continue watching it. I had a crazy idea today that I was like, I'll just have to make my own gym. That ties into something else, which I'll come to. So, no movies. I had a real hankering to watch Deadpool 1 and 2. I can't imagine me doing a review of those films. If you were going to watch it, you'd have probably watched it by now. If you've seen it, you probably don't need me to review it. And as it is, I haven't watched them. A lot of stuff there to take in. One of the biggest issues we're going to start running into now is that there aren't going to be any movies to watch. They've postponed the release of every film that was coming out, and anything that had a cinema release and was waiting to come out on like digital and stuff. They've rushed the releases. A lot of the Disney stuff, because of like Disney Plus and stuff. That hasn't. I don't even think that's launched in this country yet, and it was already struggling, sort of thing. Let's talk computer games, shall we? As far as computer games are concerned, I have been playing computer games. So, Friday was the release of Doom Eternal. However, I received a copy of Doom Eternal on Thursday. Pre-order, baby. Got it over the get it through the post. Didn't expect it. Just turned up. So Doom Eternal. 2016 Doom, as the other one is known as. I enjoyed. I did enjoy it. As a first-person shooter, it was a great game. I played it again. So I've probably told the story about how I owned Doom. But then one day went into the shop and they were selling the special edition of Doom that had the big Revenant for like £55. So I think I traded my copy of Doom in against the special edition. So I think at that point in time I played Doom again. The special edition's cool. I can see the Revenant from here. It's got a feature where you put batteries in it, turn it on, and a light and a fan, and it makes it look like it's flashing red. And the button to turn it on is concealed, stuff like that. It just looks cool. It's quite big. That game was good. It was a good game. Played it a couple of times. Little while later, I bought it for the Xbox One. Is that the story? Am I telling the right? Yes. So I originally had it on the PS4, and then I had it again on the PS4 when I got a special edition. And then I got it on the Xbox One because I think it was £10, and I was like, great game. Good game. Gonna play it. Gonna give that a play. And I got stuck. So this is a game that I'd finished not once, possibly not even twice, maybe more than that. And I couldn't get past. Admittedly, it might have been the last boss in the game. I did eventually. It took a while though, like days, not hours. It was days, and that was kind of that. Doom Eternal has been super massively hyped because largely it is the only game that is coming out that is out at this point in time. The next game that we're sort of supposedly waiting for is June. And after that, it's Cyberpunk in November, if you believe that it's getting released in November. So yeah, there are no games. So that was one reason. There's been a lot of hype around it because there's been a lot of stuff shown about the game and it looked super cool, it looked really exciting, it looked great. I don't need to tell you at this point in time what it looks like. So I got it on Thursday, I installed it, it was ready to rock and roll, and I played it. And the weirdest thing about this game, it's a first-person shooter. The fact that the scenery is beautiful. The amount of design that has gone into some of the scenery in this game is off the charts. It's a beautiful game. So much care and attention has gone into some of the scenery. So, there's that. Unfortunately, it's not all roses in the garden of Doom Eternal. Something that I truly, truly, truly believe is jumping is one thing in a first-person shooter, but traversal, let's say, so almost like a jumping puzzle, jump from here to here, jump from this wall to this wall, then make sure you grab that wall on the way past and grab onto this, and you've got to get the power up to make sure you can jump all the way. Stuff like that should be outlawed in first-person shooters. Things like that are saved for third-person games. One of the biggest reasons that I just could not get on with the game Mirror's Edge, I believe there was a second one which I never even bothered with, was because it was the epitome of everything that I thought was wrong with the first-person shooter genre, which was, we don't need jumping in a first-person shooter. The clue's in the name. It's a shooter, not a first-person jumper. And that just sounds weird. Doom Eternal has jumping puzzles, traversal puzzles that are infuriating, to put it bluntly. I hate that aspect of first-person games. I really wish they wouldn't do it, and yet they keep on doing it. So there's that. I spoke to Sam today. Sam's in isolation. I spoke to him online at work. I was like, "How are you getting on with Doom?" So I can't play it for too long. He was saying it's a game that exhausts him and he physically needs to take a break from it. So I think he's only so far into it. I was like, "Oh, okay. Are you the kind of guy that doesn't want to know stuff about games?" He was like, yeah, I'd rather find out for myself. But what I can say is I've seen online that there are these enemies called marauders and they are absolute bullshit. I was like, funnily enough, that's exactly what I was going to talk to you about. I have rage quit this game 2 or 3 times. I have stopped playing it a couple of times. I have gone back, as I say, I've rage quit it a few times, or I've turned it off a few times, but I have gone back to it. One of the worst points was there was an enemy, a boss, called the Marauder. Bullshit boss. Anything where the game goes, here's your enemy, here's how to beat it, is bullshit. because that's not a thing. That's not a thing in games. Games don't go, oh, let's give you a complete rundown of absolutely everything about this boss. A game would just let you work it out for yourself. No, not Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal went, we know that this boss is fucking bullshit. So we're going to tell you how to beat it. Good luck. Because, I don't know how many times I attempted to do that boss. And if I'm honest, I do not know how I actually beat it. So that was that. That was a long journey of trying to do that. I said to Sam today that the problem that Doom Eternal's got is when it's good, it's really good. It's really good. Like, there's points when I'm playing it and I'm really enjoying it because it's really good. But like little boys, Doom Eternal, when it's good, it's very, very good. But when it's bad, it's rotten. Was that little boys? No, little boys are made of slugs and snails and puppy dog tails. What was it? When it's good, it's very good. When it's bad, it's rotten. Was that a type of little girl? Curl in the middle. Oh, I have no freaking idea. Anyway, Doom Eternal, when it's good, it's very, very good. When it's bad, it's rotten. I was playing and I was enjoying it, and I feel like I'm definitely getting towards the back end, and I'm going down this bit, and this door bursts open, and it's the fucking Marauder again. The most bullshit boss in all of creation, and you have to fight it again. No surprises that I was not able to beat him. No surprises that my response to this was, no thank you, I've already done this once and it was bullshit that time. I am going to have to go back to it. I don't fancy my chances. The worst part of it is that this guy takes so much to beat that you've got no idea how well you're doing. This is the thing. There's no health bar. It takes so long to beat that when you die, inevitably die, you have to do it all over again. But you might have been doing it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're playing it and it's super intense and it's super fast, it's just, Doom, you did it wrong. You had one job. All those sorts of things. I'll keep playing it whilst ever I can. It's not looking brilliant at this point in time. I'm going to put it on in a bit. Because, it's not like I'm going to be going to the gym. So, because of that, I was playing Sniper 4. Is it called Sniper Elite 4? I don't fucking know. Let's call it Sniper 4 for argument's sake. The problem we've got is that the screen of the laptop is literally blocking everything apart from the symbol for the game. Let's go with Sniper 4. I was playing that before I got Doom. I was enjoying it. I'm playing it slightly different to how I played it previously, which has resulted in me getting further. So it can only be a good thing. A little bit harder. The stuff I've been doing more recently is a bit harder. It's not allowing for as much of a situation where I can just kill everybody on that level. Again, it's good, an enjoyable game. When I turned Doom off at one point, I actually put Sniper on because it was early in the evening. I had nowhere to be. So I put Sniper on and I did a level on that. Good game, enjoyable game. I wish in hindsight I'd have just made the decision when I played it the first time to just play it differently. So hindsight's 20/20, innit? Really enjoying it. Now I've said that game will probably turn on me and I won't be able to finish that. Like I say, no games coming out, so that you're going to be hearing a lot of, hey, I'm playing a game that's several years old. The reason is because I never finished it originally. So, I'm sorry, but there's not a huge amount I can do about that. I've got a couple of games on the Switch that I never finished. One of those I never really started. I did start it, but I never really got very far. So I need to probably correct that. So that is games, or should I say, that is console games. So, this next bit is going to be an amalgamation of two things. You guys know that at the end of my podcast, I generally talk about going to the gym. You now know that I haven't been to the gym for a couple of days. I wouldn't have gone on Saturday anyway, but I would have gone Friday and I would have gone Sunday. Today is Monday. So, I was beside myself. I was like, what am I going to do without the gym? Leon's like, I tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go and get the VR. You're going to put the boxing game on that you used to play and it used to absolutely destroy you. And you're going to play that. It gets you back into VR, which is what you were wanting to do. And it gets you some exercise. And you know that game would absolutely wreck you. And I was like, that is a fantastic idea. So, Saturday, I did some press-ups. Sunday, was really feeling those press-ups. Sunday, did some press-ups. Stupidly, had something to eat, and was like, oh, I should do some more press-ups. Got down into the press-up position, and was like, what is happening right now? I've got pain. I don't know what's happening. There is a pain, and I'm not sure what's going on right now. This doesn't feel good. I'm in real pain. What is happening? Ow. In case you're wondering what was happening, which I imagine you might be at this point in time, what was happening was my stomach muscles were tearing. Yeah, that was fun. Working on the principle that a multitude of things, haven't used stomach muscles in that way for quite some time, so there was that. Probably shouldn't have done it straight after eating. There was that, and stomach muscles tear and repair constantly. So fingers crossed they're going to be repaired either in 10 or 15 minutes when I go and do a workout, or soon, tomorrow maybe. We'll find out in a bit. So that was that. I couldn't do any more press-ups. Obviously couldn't do any sit-ups. So I was like, sod it. I'll wait until this evening. I'll get the VR. I got it charged. I got it updated. Everything. The works. I got it ready to rock and or roll. I was like, I'm gonna get changed into my gym kit. Babe went to bed. I got changed into my gym kit. You know. I got the VR. I took it downstairs. I turned it on. I went to the boxing game. And I put the boxing game on. So I fought the sparring partner, and then 3 guys. Is like the Reverend, the guy with the mohawk, the guy that's called the Spider, and I think another guy. That would make sense. So that's like 5 people I fought. Holy shit! I have never sweat the way I sweat playing that yesterday. Never in my life have I sweat like that. I sweat the way I imagine most people sweat, which is, I get a sweaty forehead, I get sweaty pits. For a man, if I say the phrase ball soup, I imagine you know what that means. I had wet legs. I was trying to explain this to Rob at lunchtime. No fucking idea. No idea what the hell was going on, but my legs were completely saturated with sweat. The rest of me was kind of okay. Apart from the biggest issue with the Quest is sweat. If you play a game that's a bit active, you start to sweat. You sweat into the foam cover on the Quest. By the time I took it off, if I was in a position to physically wring it out, I'd have been wringing it out into a bucket. There was so much moisture. Obviously, that's not an option. You can't wring it out. It's attached to a plastic thing. So I put the Quest on the side. A bit later was like, I want to actually play some VR. I was destroyed by that boxing game. That boxing game, it's brutal. I ran up and actually got the silicone cover for the Quest. It's the biggest piece of horseshit I've ever purchased. It takes a hot item and makes it hotter, so you sweat profusely. But I'd seen that there was a new level for pistol whip, and I was like, if I put it on and play once, and play the new level on pistol whip, it's probably done its job, because it was cold and wet, the actual foam. So I got the silicone thing, put that on, played the level of pistol whip. By the time I'd finished that, it's like, the baby's awake, you need to go and lie down and stuff. So I turned all the VR off, ran up, put the baby down, and that was that. So not only have I managed to play some VR, which I was desperate to do, I also managed to get a fairly brutal workout in. So both my arms are destroyed. Basically, because it's like a boxing game, I twisted my right knee, and because of obviously the twisting of the motion and the fact that I'd already torn my stomach muscles, it's not my whole torso, but like my stomach, just forget about it. But then I came to today. I had to have a protein shake this morning. I was eating nuts this afternoon for a bit more protein. And I got to this evening and I was like, hang on a minute, what exercise am I going to do today? I can't do the boxing game. I can't do the press-ups. I can't do any sit-ups. What the hell am I going to do? Lan's like, no pain, no gain. Get back on the boxing. It's like, I don't know if I can. And then I thought about it. I was like, screw it. I'm going to get back on the boxing. The Quest is literally next to me right now, on charge, ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish this podcast. I'm going to get changed into my gym kit, and I'm going to go and do that. Then I'm going to eat my tea. Then I'm going to play Doom. Probably turn it off in anger. Probably play Sniper for the rest of the day. Yeah. So that's that. That kind of incorporates the last couple of bits. Thrill of the fight. If you've got VR and the capabilities to get that game, and you want a game that is going to be a monster of a workout, I paid next to nothing for that game. There is no wonder that for a long time it was the game that had a perfect score. Very well done. Played the new level on pistol whip. Few too many walls for my liking. But these days I just put it on hard, no fail, dual guns, and just have a laugh more than anything. I'm not trying to beat any records. It's more playing John Wick than anything else. But yeah, a few too many walls. But hey, I am going to attempt to keep doing some form of working out at home. Realistically, I probably need to get out for a run. I'm not overly sure how I'm going to do that. I work all day, I come back, I get the baby to bed, and then it's not time to go for a run. However, this weekend the clocks change, so it's going to be lighter. So we'll see. I need to get out for a run, and actually do the running bit of the run. So we'll see how that goes. I do wonder whether I might do some kind of home workout routine and then maybe post it to the YouTube channel. I don't know. I might do it as a bit of, a shits and giggles kind of thing. Not overly serious, but actually do the exercises, but, have a laugh and a joke with it. It's really important to be getting exercise, especially if we go into lockdown or if you are quarantined already or any of those things. It's really important to be getting the exercise for your body, for your mind, for all of that. Not going to the gym has been a massive blow to my mental health, but I am trying to find ways to deal with that, and that is through exercise. Because I know who I am. I know that it is going to be so easy to go, you know what, fuck it. And then the next thing will be, well, the takeaways are still open, aren't they? That's basically it. I know I've already said that. Like I keep saying, or like I've said previously, or any of those sorts of things, this podcast is largely around me and my mental health. And at this point in time, my mental health isn't super great. And I'm sorry if that's not what you want to have to listen through. But it is what it is. Fingers crossed by this time next week, the podcast will be super light and all of that. I'm just getting things. I'm just getting stuff coming through from all sorts of places about self-isolating. I think now there's an email here from Nero. I believe at this point in time that's all coffee shops are now closed. Yeah. Sorry about this week. It was a bit of a ramble cast. I do feel that it's a little interesting that ages ago I named this podcast The Darkest Timeline. I mean, do we need much more evidence at this point in time that this is absolutely the darkest timeline? Whatever. I'm sorry. I'll just leave that there, and next week hopefully things will be better. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for coming along with me on this journey. I do appreciate it. Big love to everybody. Stay safe, people. If you need to stay in. Don't take any chances. And just, fingers crossed everybody's going to be okay. There we go. That's it. I'm going to say bye. I'll speak to you again. So there we go. What do you think of that? Another one done. Another week gone. Can you believe it? Like I keep saying, YouTube watchers, make sure you're subscribing, and then go and find a friend, get them to subscribe, get their friends to subscribe, get a family member to subscribe, like all videos, comment on them, all of that stuff. Then you and everyone else should jump over to Cookiecast.com, check us out over there, use one of our multiple ways to send love over to the podcast, and use one of them. So yeah, there we go. Until next week, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.